What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the warehouse series. So today I'm going to be doing an edited video of me selecting in the warehouse again. I like these. I think they're going to be a little bit better. I'm actually going to try something new in the warehouse. I'm actually going to try taking my wireless mic into the warehouse with me. And while I'm filming, I'm going to try to talk. The only problem is you're probably going to hear say again about 400 times because I'm going to be talking to you guys at the same time. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to see how that works. Now with me, before I get to this video, I'm starting in the Gatorades, Propel Waters, and things of that nature. This is the tough part of the warehouse when you're starting off with a base. So since I don't get a lot of these, now I did not finish this order. I left this as a pickup, so I'm going to show you some pictures at the end. And even though I know I'm going to be leaving this as a pickup, I still throw it as I would throw it for myself. I'm not going to leave somebody a crappy pickup where they're going to have to rebuild my pallet just to start their order and waste time. So with that being said, what I'm thinking about doing is, since you guys seen the 10L plenty of times, that's my canned goods, I'm going to build my first pallet up as high as I possibly can get it. And then I'm going to drop it off somewhere. And then I'm going to come back and try to start in this section of the warehouse and build a full pallet. I want you guys to see me build a full pallet in this side of the warehouse. So with that being said, we're going to get started. I'm going to start this video. Starting off with Gatorades. Now, we have two separate types of Gatorades. I'm sure you guys do too if you have these Gatorades in your warehouse. They are these size cases, and there's little narrow, taller ones. With that being said, a couple weeks ago, I put out a video saying about touching cases multiple times when you're on your base. I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit while you watch me throw these Gatorades right here. Now, I 8-block these. Let me say that first. They come in a 10-block. There is certain blocks in the warehouse I don't like. I am very ridiculous when it comes to cases hanging over the edge of the pallet. I don't want them hanging over at all if I could possibly help it. So those Gatorades in the back, I 8-block. Now these Gatorades I'm throwing down at the front right now, they're a different type of block. But the ones in the back, if I had 8, I would 8-block them. So what I was going to say is that I want to elaborate on touching cases multiple times. I have a plan. When I touch cases multiple times, you don't see me messing with it for like a minute. I know exactly what I'm trying to do with that corner or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. And you're going to watch me do it over here in a little bit. So there's a big difference between me touching cases multiple times and taking a few seconds, where new people taking multiple times, touching the cases, and then they might go back and touch that case again and again and again and again. Yeah, definitely if I'm touching a case multiple times, I'm sticking to 2 and I want to be done with it, hopefully. Sometimes I do move cases more than that, but I try to be as efficient as possible because, yes, touching cases multiple times is definitely going to waste time on your order. Now, with a base like this, now right here I'm putting a Propel in. I have a small gap back there. I came to the conclusion, I got 2 Propels. I'm going to put them on the back corner of my pallet. I told you, you need to keep like cases together. So me taking a second to move that blue Gatorade on the back, get it away from the corner, and putting 2 Propels on there to fill the gap in the back of my pallet, and I don't have to worry about that corner anymore. Because if I would have squeezed the case in like everybody likes to do, it would have pushed the Gatorade in the back off the back of the pallet. I want to stay nice and square. And right here, I actually swore you didn't, I have the volume turned off. But yeah, it's... Yeah, I get a little frustrated sometimes too doing these. I want things to work and sometimes they don't work out for me, but you just got to keep progressing forward. And right here, guys, what did I do? I'm going to be putting a video out on this soon. Everyone is so fixated on layer to layer. I got to fill out this layer before I move to the next layer. There's times I'm 3 layers ahead and I'm still down here because I know what's coming up and I'm going to be able to meet this front layer. I hope that makes sense. Like that Gatorade, that blue Gatorade, I didn't have a complete layer, but I moved it up to the next level or the next layer. So you do not have to be fixated on trying to fill out one layer at a time. I have plenty more videos that I want coming out. I am seeing people selecting the warehouse, trainees, and just regular people selecting the warehouse. And there is one big problem with what you guys do, and I'm going to be putting that on a video out to come soon. Maybe even this week. I got to see what I got in store. Now right here, I'm getting some smaller cases. I got a gap in the middle of my pallet. I'm trying to fill it in. Every time you see me put a case in the middle like that, even though I probably don't keep that there because it's rocking, I try to tie it in from one case to the next. I don't if possible, I like to tie those cases in when I possibly can. And you'll see me do that multiple times throughout this video, which it's not much longer, guys. It's another 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I just wanted to show you how to get a base going with this type of product. Now, right here, I get 2 of these. Now, notice how I separate them. I do not have them together. I wanted that middle case to be in the middle of that Propel and that Gatorade, because I'm trying to distribute the weight between the two. So here I'm completing my 3rd layer. I'm getting some teas back there, some Arizona teas. Even though they're smaller, there was 3 of them. So if you have 3 smaller teas like I just got those Arizona teas, then group them together. Group them together and you got yourself a nice corner. Now this case here, I just throw down real quick. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it. I do say that, and somebody that watches my channel in my warehouse told me that you say to throw cases down and just keep going. That's the truth. If you don't know where to put a case, just keep moving. Now that first water I put down on that 4th layer, you saw me put it in between the Gatorade and the whatever those are there. That's how I make sure I'm making sure that weight distribution is going from one case to the next. And that's how you get solid pallets with this stuff. So the bottom 2 layers are pretty much column stacked, and now I'm tying in. Sometimes I go 3 layers column stacked. I don't force anything that's going to create a small gap when I have all big cases. I try not to anyhow. Now right here, I got smaller waters filling in the middle of that pallet. I had a hole in the middle. I tell you, anytime I have a hole, I want it to be in the middle because I could always fill it in at a later time. Now I'm just, got a bunch of these waters I'm throwing on there. And we got about 30 seconds left. You're going to see me top this off with a couple pasta noodles. And then I'm going to go to some pictures to show you what I completed before I left it as a pickup. But guys, what do you notice? Well, we'll talk about that in the picture. But right here, I got a couple pastas coming. And then we'll end the video here. Another 8 seconds here. So I got one more case to throw. But as you can see, this is that's the end of the video right there. As you can see, guys, that is a real nice solid base to start the rest of this pallet. So we're going to look at some pictures. All right, guys, so with that being said, let's take a look at that first picture. That first picture right here, as you can see, it turned out real well. We established the base, and then I go right back to what I know, pointing cases towards the middle. It's the same thing every time. Establish a base and then start pointing cases towards the middle because the middle of the pallet is the strongest part of the pallet. And then I topped it off with these teas. These teas really stink to stack on, so I like them as high on my pallet as I possibly can get them. So if you select them in my warehouse and you have a fresh pallet and you have a pallet this height, put them up higher. That's my thing. And as you can see here, I wrap this at least 3 times around. When I start in this section of the warehouse and I have an unsturdy base, I like to wrap a little bit more. So this does not require 1 wrap. This requires multiple wraps to make sure that my middle is nice and secure. This is the back of that pallet. Guys, as you can see, the Propel and the Gatorade base down here, I made it line up perfectly. And then I got the ragu and the pasta, facing inwards. That's what I do. And then the next picture I want to show you is the front pallet, the one that you did not see me start building. So when I got into the pasta sauces, they're heavier glasses. I want to start putting that stuff on the empty pallet that I had. Well, what do you notice here? Okay, I'm starting with my corners. And this is the video that I'm going to be coming up with. I don't even want to get started with that. I don't want to make this any longer than I have to. But start with your corners and get nice, solid corners when you don't know what's coming up. So, and then the next palette I want to show right here is, we got my pasta sauces together. I got my 3 broths lined up in the back. Keep light cases together. If I have 3 cases like those broths and I got a nice flat corner, well, tell me that's not the perfect corner for the next layer up. Okay? So when I have smaller items and I'm not 100% sure what I'm getting, my bigger solid cases are going on the corner and I'm going to start building inwards on these pallets because I'm going to leave the smaller gaps on the inside. Because when you select an order, more than likely, the further you get through the order, the smaller the cases that are coming. So you want to leave your smaller holes or gaps in the middle of the pallet. You do not want them on your corners. So guys, that's the last picture. As you can see, I left a nice pickup for somebody. They're not going to have to come and reorganize this pallet. They're not going to have to worry about wrapping it. I already did that for them. I always think of the next person. Who's coming to pick up my pallet? Now, unfortunately, when I get a pickup order, I don't get that in return. But it is what it is. But that's it for today, guys. I wanted to show you, I wanted to get this out because it is starting in the problem case of our warehouse. And I know people on Discord talk about these type of things. So I'm going to work on trying to start my second pallet here. So I'm going to throw my front pallet and I'm going to just ditch it somewhere. And then I'm going to come over and start throwing another pallet so I can film the back pallet to this nature and start getting a little bit harder stuff to work with. So that's it for today. Hopefully I can get more of these videos out to come help you guys out. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Have a